On the entry level, the Sennheiser I100 Pro.
Okay.
To me, for the money, it's $100 for the earpiece.
$98 on Amazon, folks.
Okay.
Yep.
It's a clean sounding piece. It's very well made. It fits comfortably. They give you a reasonable amount of fit options. And as a starting point, as an entry level piece, I think it's a great earpiece.
Great.
That's number one. The second one that I like, and for a million reasons, is Future Sonics has the G10. The G10, which sells for $160 with their coupon code when you log into the site, is a very custom sounding earpiece. They give you a whole bunch of different fit options, and you can add the Comply foam sleeves aftermarket, which also sound really great if you're wearing them a lot. And it gives you a little more extension. The P2 Comply foam tips are great for that.
Yep.
Third one.
Actually, I'm going to throw the third one in because we're about to break the $200 barrier, which is fine.
Yeah.
But before we do, I'm going to throw in the LinSoul KZ S10s.
Mm-hmm.
These are $50. They are 5 drivers per ear, and they sound good. They are obviously, like anything, they're mass produced. I mean, you're buying buying 10 drivers and a shell for your ears for $50 or less. There's a $5 coupon on Amazon right now. But this is a great way to get started. I've seen so many musicians start with this and stay with it because they just like it. It like you said, Dan, one option that's good for one person is not necessarily just because it's universal fit, which is also a misnomer. It's not universal enjoyment, right? So try these out. And because you can buy these on Amazon, you can return them. So this would be a place that I've recommended many people go simply because of the price point. So, okay. So now
the thing about the earpieces that are $100 or less, all of them, are that they're mass-produced transducers and drivers. Mm-hmm. So they don't always have the consistency when you go from piece to piece. Again, you don't like it, send it back.
Send it back.
But you get a good one when you're in business, and it's a good starting point, assuming, again, they don't fatigue you too hard, which is definitely something to consider. Another one that is really cool, this company called Dunu, and a lot of people don't know about them.
I'd never heard of them before you mentioned them.
They were a worship leader presented these to me, and they had a model that they were very, very happy with, and they're surprisingly, the feel of them, the tactile appeal is very surprising, and they're $219. They make them in 2 colors, and they make other models as well, but this was one that stood out to me for the price, especially because now there are so many brands, and so a lot of them are the same. This is a technology that's a little bit different than what everybody else is doing, even though their marketing speak is over the top.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah. Okay, so you're recommending the Falcon Ultra from Dunu.
This Falcon Ultra is a really cool piece. After that, Audix makes a piece called the A10X, and it's a really solid feel. It's a great piece on stage. They're very comfortable. They have a nice width to the sound. My only issue with them was finding the right fit. Their fitting options, because everybody is like, every ear is like a fingerprint. You have to find what works for you. It's a very well-made piece. The way that the cable is designed is really substantial, and it's a robust earpiece that I really like a lot. And I think when you're trying to stay below $300, this is a really great bunch of options. For me, the difference between them is personal preference. It's what you like the sound of.
Yeah.
The Future Sonics I love, not just because I was part of the company until 2008, but because they carve out a little of the low mids that you get through conduction on stage. So when you're on stage, that's already taken into account. So they're very wide. They have more low end, but that's so that you don't have to boost your low frequencies. You can actually even back off the lows a little if it's too much, and it de-stresses your sound as opposed to having to boost anything.
The one custom option that exists is somebody we've talked about years ago. I haven't tried out their new ones, but Waves Custom, WAVS. You can buy their dual drivers that start at $200 per ear. Triple drivers are not per ear, per pair. So it's $200 per pair for their dual drivers, $300 per pair for their triple drivers, all the way up to $600 per pair for their 6-driver per ear. The trick to these is that they've figured out how to do these at a price point that fits with this question, but they've also skipped the need for you to go and get your ears molded, which if you recommend, and I'll link to this episode when we talked about the all-clear in-ears, I talked about my recent experience getting ear molds done, and most ear doctors, most audiologists were going to charge me somewhere in the $150 to $250 range to get molds done for both of my ears. I found one that would do it for $75. With Waves, you get to skip all of that because they figured out a way to use the Face ID camera on your iPhone, which is essentially a 3D sensor, to do a mold of at least enough of your ear to get this custom thing together. I tried Waves when they first came out years ago, and I was impressed with them. Paul and I both tried them. I have not tried their newest ones. I can only imagine that they've gotten better, but I haven't tried them yet. But that's so $200 and you can go in.
Two pieces to that. One is that they don't go particularly deep because of that.
Yes.
Which is an odd fit. So it's sort of a hybrid-y kind of a fit.
In fact, they will sell you a hybrid. Their default is that the outer portion of your ear is the custom part, and then the part that goes, the tip of it, if you will, is a universal fit tip.
Here, the bowl of the ear, and that's the thing. There's one more company which I didn't mention, which is Juicy Ears. Oh. What a bizarre... I don't know why the name gets to me.
My ears get a little juicy. Sometimes I need to clean them. We'll talk about that.
They have also in that same space as Waves. They've come up with an affordable earpiece. Sounds pretty good, but they're very comfortable. It's a really nice fit, nicely made. And I have some friends that are using them now that like the sound of them. Yeah.
Oh,
that's another
good to know.
In that
Love
price
it
category. Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like they start at $298. So I will put those in the show notes too. So giggabpodcast.com. That's where you're going to find all the links for all the things that we've talked about and are about to talk about.